Stop recording. Enough recording.
Okay.
1, 2, 1, 2. Action. Can the next candidate come?
Yes, please. You first. Please. Thank you.
Hi, Seth. How are you? Yes, you can take a seat.
Evening, so I am Mokona Sote and I am with my colleague here, Soso.
Yeah.
And we are going to be interviewing you. First, we would like to congratulate you for getting for making it this far. It's really great. So we are going to ask you only the questions. Are you ready?
Yes.
And I'll hand over to you.
Okay. So we'd like you to tell us more.
Firstly, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity. By the way, I'm Pendula Ratombo from the University of Venda. I'm just a recent graduate who also have an experience of tutoring. I've been a tutor for 2 consecutive years. So, some of the skills that I have since I'm applying for the personal assistant, when I was applying for this personal assistant job, I realized that I've got some of the skills like time management, because as a varsity student, you need to be active and you should manage your things. And also, there are some of the things that I do understand, that if you are working for someone, you've got to be someone who doesn't have to say anything, especially there are some of the sensitive information that you might get into the office and you see that, okay, you must be discreet in other ways. Yes.
Okay.
Then I'm going to ask you the second question. So it's based on technical skills. The question is, what is your experience on Microsoft Office programs with specific reference to Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel? And also, you should please rate your competency out of 5 for each software discussed. First, Microsoft Word. Second, Microsoft Excel.
Okay, first I'll talk about the Microsoft Word. I can rate myself that it's 7 out of 10 for Microsoft Word, since I am an honor student. So when doing research, you have to do more of typing work. And also, in terms of Microsoft Excel, I will rate myself 6 out of 10, because I have managed to use it when acquiring my data so that I can discuss them later.
Thank you so much. The last question will be taken by Ms. Soso.
Okay. After this question, I'll just give you a follow-up question. So the first question is, tell us more about the time you worked with a caterer or stakeholder, and what were the challenges you had, and how did you overcome them?
Well, I wouldn't say I've worked with a caterer, but I do believe that the experience that I have since I've worked as a tutor, I'm working under someone, a lecturer. That's more like being a personal assistant. So the skills that I've got an administrative skill. Also, on the issue of I will have to be an invigilator. Some of the times you'll have to mark the script for the students, and by that time you'll find that the exams are nearer, so you are under pressure and you'll find that you are being given only 6 hours. So yeah, I think although my experience is not based on the catering and all those stuff, but I think in some of the catering and being working under someone, actually it does need someone who have some skills and experience, which are time management and you should be well organized, and you should know how to solve some of the problems, because when you're working you deal with some of the challenges that are out of your control, but as a person you have to improvise.
Okay. So I've heard what you said,
Yes.
but I really want to know, what do you think will make you stand out from like other candidates?
I think it's the skills that I have, and the experience also, because when I'm reading the job description, I checked where they were saying that you'll be able to make the spreadsheet for the bus, and I have mentioned some of the things that I've did while working under someone as a personal assistant of that person, and also trying to make sure that there are no mistakes.
Okay. Thank you so much for telling us about yourself. I don't know if my partner here would like to say.
No, I would not like, I don't have anything to add, but do you have a question for us?
Question that I have will be, for how long will I wait till I receive your feedback, and do you really give feedback to everyone who participated in an interview, or you do for those ones who have been successfully accepted for the job?
That's a great question.
You can come in.
Hello, good evening.
How are you?
Anika, Valengren.
Everything.
Hello. Hi, Anika.
So yeah, our first question will be for you to tell us a bit more about yourself.
Sure. So, as you've probably seen in my CV, I'm Anika Valengren. I come from Canada, Montreal, but I've been moving around for my studies. So lately I was at the UCT in Cape Town for semester exchange, and I was really having a great time meeting some new people in South Africa, having a breadth of different experiences. In general, I'm someone that is quite disciplined and serious. I really value community, and I am part of some organization back at home, back when I was living in the Netherlands, where I coordinate the food sharing and food saving organization when we make big dinner. And so I coordinate shifts, so that gives me a lot of ability and a sense of professionalism. So I can tell you more about some special skills. This is a brief introduction, but I would be happy to expand if you would like me to.
Okay. Just to ask on what you just said, what is the name of the organization that you're a part of?
So it's called Conscious Kitchen, and if I can give a bit more detail, every week we go to the market at the end when they're about to close, and we go to take the food that they would normally throw away. And with my group of volunteers and my coordinators, so it's very no hierarchy, we're all helping each other. We make big dinners, communal dinners that everyone can join after and enjoy the meal for a very cheap price or for free if they help us to prepare. So it's good because we also can talk about sustainability. It gives a sense of responsibility and care, and also a sense of management, because you manage the volunteers. It's always new people, so you have to be clear about how to make it run smoothly. So it gives me a lot of interesting leadership role in that sense.
Okay. I'm gonna pass over to my partner to ask you more questions.
Okay, so I'll ask you the second question based on technical skills. So what is your experience of the Microsoft Office programs with specific reference to Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel? And please rate your competency out of 5. Out of 5 for each software discussed. So the first software is Microsoft Word, and the second one is Microsoft Excel.
Yes, thank you for the question. So since high school, I've been working with Microsoft, and it was more developed during my undergrad and my master's. My master's was also in the natural sciences, so we had to work with a lot of Excel sheets with data sets, making modeling, projection. So that was for Excel, but your question now was more about the Word. So Word was used for writing text, for grammar, spelling check, for writing in different languages because I'm proficient in English and French and other languages as well, but to a lower level of proficiency. And I was also used to making presentation and doing a full master's thesis, which was mostly with Word. And the other question, if you can please repeat, it was with Microsoft Excel. Sorry, so I started answering that question, but doing some sampling and data set, and then also with formulas. So for instance, input-output analysis, so what a country imports and exports, the balance must be equal. So we have complex formula, and you need to be able almost from scratch to understand the formula, to make new formula, to analyze, to assess. And I made me quite well proficient in both. And if I can rate on a scale from 1 to 5, Word would be 5 because I know all the tools. I know all the different tabs that you can do and how to use it quite with a good overview. And Excel, I would say 4 because there's still, I'm not per se someone that is a hardcore in the natural sciences, in the chemistry, in the mathematics. So I do understand, but maybe to start a new sheet from scratch with very complex data set, sometimes I may need the help of a supervisor or someone that's going to give me at least the tools to understand, and then I can work with it quite independently.
Thank you. Tabiline, would you like to take the next question?
So our last question is, tell us about a time when you worked with a caterer or other stakeholder, and what challenges did you have and how did you overcome them?
So I think a good example would be, I have many because I was working as a barista in a cafe during my undergrad to get some pocket money, and I was also working in a bakery. So they were caterers in both senses, but I think the example I would like to bring up is the more recent one in my organization, Conscious Kitchen, that I briefly mentioned, because there we were dealing with volunteers as well, core members that were doing the catering and were thinking about the food. And it's always changing because since we go at the market, every week we get different fruits and vegetables. So when people arrive, it's a new set and quickly we have to organize ourselves, and the cook have to see what can be done as a meal, 3-course vegan meal for everyone. So it takes a lot of organization that has to happen in a fast-paced environment. So I think that in that sense, the job requirements fit well with my profile, being used to having been in a place where everything has to happen fast. You have to coordinate, you have to collaborate. No one has to be there thinking that they're the biggest leader and they know everything. You have to be able to, if you have a point to make, talk about it in a way that is showing empathy and showing regards for the other person. And that sometimes, if they're not on the same page, there's sources of conflict, but trying to see that you're all working towards the same goal and that you want in the end a good outcome, which is a meal that is shared together and bringing people around the same table.
Okay, I think you have answered everything that we need. Steph Mugona.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you the first question. Would you care to tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Obviously wouldn't care. My name is Mzana Raina. I'm currently a master's student doing my final year. I recently submitted my proposal to do my PhD next year. I'm also doing internship looking at rural engagement and rural development at the University of Rwanda.
Thank you.
The next question I'll hand over to Ms. Zozo.
Okay, thank you. What is your experience of Microsoft Office programs with specific reference to Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel? And please rate your competency out of 5 for each software discussed. So you have to rate your Microsoft first and also rate your Excel and tell us about your experience with both of them.
Thank you so much. I'll start with Microsoft
Okay.
Word. So I've managed to do my research. That was my honors research in 2021, which I typed it myself. I submitted it. I'm currently about to submit my master's, which I'm writing it myself. I'm also writing my own book, typing. So that's using Excel. That's I'm using Microsoft Word. So with Excel, with my honors research, I collected data that was using Google Earth and also using Google Forms. So with Google Forms, you export the spreadsheet to Excel and do the analysis that side. I managed to do the SPI calculations that was using Excel. So also currently I've managed to collect more than 60 questionnaires using Google Form, and I analyzed that using Excel.
Okay.
Those were my questionnaires. So rating myself, Word, I'm giving myself 5, and Excel, because maybe there are some calculations and equations that I might not know, I'm giving myself 4 out of 5. Thank you.
I'll just pass over to my partner to ask more questions.
The third question,
Thank you.
stakeholder engagement. Can you please tell us about a time you worked with a caterer or other stakeholder? What challenges did you have and how did you overcome them?
Okay. The first, also, if maybe just to go back, I also that the contract will be expiring or ending this month. So I was a research assistant at the University of Vienna since last year, September. So that's wherein we would have to arrange the caterings when we'll be going out to collect data for the research that I was assisting. So the challenges would be, people eat different things, and at points maybe you probably the one who made a mistake, or probably the person communicated late, and what the food that they bring is just something that the other person do not eat, and that's where as an organizer you have to make sure that the other person eat, and that those are some of the challenges. And recently, where I'm working now as doing my internship, I think I've managed to overcome some of the challenges using the experience that I gained when I was doing my research assistant last year. So, yeah.
Do you still have more questions?
I do not have any more questions, but if you have questions, you
You
may go
can
ahead
ask.
and ask.
Okay. Maybe my question would just be, since the job description and the advertisement of this job was just not so clear for me, I would want to know where will I be based if I'm lucky to get this job. And I'm assuming that the skills that you asked are some of the skills that might be required on the job, but where will I be based? Will it be remotely? Of which, if it's remotely, is something that I'm very much comfortable with. I have all the resources. I have my own laptop, I have my own internet. Yeah. So, will it be remotely or physical?
Should I take it?
Yes.
Oh, wait, you can explain the part of what she'll be doing, or
Okay.
what we expect from her. Then I'll explain the part of where the whole thing will be based and what she's required to do in a way.
Okay, I'm assuming that she already knows what she is required to do from the job descriptions. However, yes, the job will be part of the job will be remotely, and the other one will obviously be on site. Okay, because you will have to bring tea. You can't make tea for someone virtually. You have,
Remotely.
yes, remotely. So
Yeah, and most of your time, I think you'll spend it traveling, because you're not really based in one place. Yeah, so most of your time you will be just traveling around South Africa.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so nice having you, and all the best.
Gonna?
Is so can you tell us more about yourself?
Okay, my name is Chirenga Iwani Prince. I was born and raised in Limpopo. I am well known as a well-oriented person and a great team worker, and I can work individually and also in team. I studied at the University of Vienna. I did my BSc in Hydrogen Water Resources, honors there in Hydrogen Water Resources. Currently, I'm doing my master's also at the University of Vienna, and I think that's all about me. Nothing
Okay.
special.
So would you like to tell us what is your experience of Microsoft Office programs, and with a specific reference to Microsoft Word as well as Microsoft Excel, and also please rate your competency out of 5 for each software discussed. So you're firstly going to tell us more about Microsoft Word and your experience, and then you rate it, and same applies to Microsoft Excel.
Okay, Microsoft Word. I've used Microsoft Word mostly when I was doing my undergrads. You can tell when we are doing assignments, when we are doing research, honors researches and master's researches. I've used it quite a lot. Rating Microsoft Word, I can say 4 out of 5. Is it 5? Then Microsoft Excel, I know it very well, because my research, my honors research was based on modeling. So I was creating quotients, equations on the Microsoft Excel. You can tell that I have a lot of experience regarding the Microsoft Excel, because my honors research and master's research was about modeling, and I was using Microsoft Excel. Out of 5, let's say 3, is it allowed?
Yes.
3.7. Yes, that's my
Will you care to tell us what type of calculations you were doing on Microsoft Excel?
Types of calculations. What I did during my honors, I was I was using a model for estimating the peculation rate of different soil types. So we were having calculating the mean, average, and also standard deviations. Different types of I was using Microsoft Excel in that sense.
Thank you. So tell us about a time you worked with a caterer or other stakeholder, and what challenges did you have and how did you overcome them?
About a caterer?
Yep.
Honestly, I have never worked with them.
Any stakeholder?
Yes. Currently, what I've worked, where I was working, since February 2020, December 2022 still. The challenge is there. I was working as a wastewater pump station inspector, where we were inspecting and managing the wastewater pump station, wastewater pipes from the users till it gets to the treatment plant. The challenge is people, when we are working with people, they will want you to do the work the way they want them to, the work to be done.
Yeah.
Then that was, sorry.
Okay.
That was a challenge, because people will be demanding that demand. So what I did is to sit with them, to brainstorm ideas, come up with the way to solve the situation without harming anyone.
Okay, since now you're saying that you never had any experience in catering, how do you think, how can I put this question? What makes you think that you're, no, that's okay. Can I please correct myself?
Okay.
Yeah. How do you think you'll stand out from the rest of the other candidates? And what is it that is so interesting about you that you think like, how do you think you'll contribute in a way? Yes, that's the correct term, to our company.
Okay. According to what I know about your company, you guys work in teams, so you need team leaders. And myself, as I've said, I'm a great and best, I don't know how to put it, team leader. I can work with people, good in communication. So I think since your company really needs people who are working in teams, I can contribute a lot, because working with different people, diverse, in a diverse environment, you get to know, to have more information, and more information will help you to grow and come up with more solutions whenever you encounter challenges. That's what I can say.
Okay. I don't know if you still have more questions for you.
No, I do not have any more questions. Thank you so much.
Do you have any questions for us?
Okay, my question, I guess I have one option too. Okay, my question is, when can I start working, and how will I get the response?
We'll communicate to you everything that you need to know, if you have made it and if not. And you'll know as soon as tomorrow, I think. Yeah, we'll just let you know. We have all the contact information about you, and
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Hopefully next time there will be water facility or something else.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for suggesting.
The first question is, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Lizzy. I come from Mpumalanga, and I studied in Mpumalanga, and then I went to Cape Town to pursue my studies, and I'm doing biodiversity and conservation biology. And for me, it's not just about doing the course, but it's about getting experiences, like different experiences. That's why in my CV you can see I was a part of a lot of things, even things that are not related to the environment. So that's who I am. I value learning and experiences and opportunities for me to grow as a person and just become. So yeah, I can say, yeah, that's the essence of me. If you want to know more about me, is that I love experiences, I love learning, and I love opportunities to grow and become a new person. Like, if there's an opportunity to do anything, I'll go for it, because I know I'll be expanded. Like, my mind will be expanded. Like, I'll get to be exposed to a lot of different opportunities and people. And yeah, I can say that's who I am.
Thank you.
Okay, Lizzy, what is your experience of Microsoft Office programs with specific reference to Microsoft Word and Microsoft Excel? And adding to that, we need you to rate your competency out of 5 for each software. So you say your experience about Word and Excel, and also rate yourself in both of them.
Okay. So for both of them, I have a lot of experience, because I went to this program called Imagine Scholar when I was still in high school, and it did expose us to a lot of technical skills like typing while you're still in high school. And so in that program, I got to learn more about the typing and learning with different programs, like you said, like Microsoft Word and Excel. And in addition to that, in my course, there's a statistics part where we do with ecology. So I get to practice my Excel skills. So that's where I also get to experiment with different formulas and just get to, yeah, I don't know what to say, but to apply my skills and apply what I know about Excel. So if I were to rate both of them, I would say 4 out of 5. Yes.
For both?
Yes.
Okay. And tell us about a time you worked with a caterer or other stakeholders, and what challenges you did have and how you overcame them.
Okay. So I can say, I don't know if this was a caterer because we were working. So back, I'm part of this volunteering organization. I don't know if you know it, but it's called Rotary or Rota Act. And there basically we deal with service and serving people, like community service, like different wide range of community service, like sandwich drives and beach cleanups, like a lot of things. So it's not just one thing, but it's serving our communities. And one of the two things that we do as the club, we get to host camps for students where they get to develop themselves, and part of facilitating those camps is catering. And I got to work hand in hand with a chef to serve the students. And in the other camp that I'm planning, it's called Adventures into Citizenship, where we also get to plan camps, but it's students who go around and like explore different parts of Cape Town and grow into citizenship. So also there was a challenge where someone was vegan and we couldn't really navigate what was going on, like how we could make sure that she's also catered for, because everyone else was catered for. So how we encountered that, how we resolved that challenge was that we went to the nearest Woolworths and tried to find alternatives. And from there we got to learn that we need to also prioritize and know like the dietary requirements of the people beforehand, and just be prepared more, because we could have bought things that are vegan friendly and products that she could also interact with, so that her life is much better. So I can say I have minimal experience in that, because I only have those two experiences with catering, and I don't have any more than that.
Well, thank you so much. That was really great. Do you have any question for us?
I don't have any questions, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for this time and this opportunity, for listening to me. I really appreciate it a lot. And yeah, hope you have a nice day further.